So Marcus, if you were to go back when you first started high ticket dropshipping, you could give yourself one piece of advice. What would you give yourself?
My biggest advice for me when I was starting off dropshipping is actually going to be a little bit more on the mindset side. And a lot of people are thinking, oh, should I have told myself like ads or products? When in fact, it was truthfully the fear of going against the crowd of people that I found the most dearest to me. I
Mhm.
think that when you are going through an entrepreneurial journey, you're going to come across lots of social barriers,
Mhm.
right? You're literally breaking social contracts of telling people that, yo, I want more for myself. I don't want to live a life of just a 9 to 5. And you're not going to face the most supportive words. So for me, when I was younger, I cared a lot about people think. I still care a lot about what people think, right?
Mhm.
One would say I was a social butterfly in like high school. So that's never going to change, but you can like accept it for what it is and then move past it. So back then I was very easily influenced just from people around me. So my biggest
Mhm.
advice for myself when I was younger is don't be afraid of being alone for a little bit. You're going to find the right people around you. You'll be able to prosper and do whatever you need to do. Just stay true to yourself and never give up.
Mhm.
That'd be what I say.
Got it. So I guess like what would you say has your mindset and belief about business and outside business changed over the years?
Yeah, significantly. The way I look at business now is going to be a little bit different than when I first started. I remember when I first started, I was really just caught up in the ads. Truthfully speaking, I was trying to figure out what's the best way to run Facebook ads or what's the best way to run Google ads. Now I understand that it's not one single mechanism that makes a business hyper profitable. It's a key of multiple things, just like what makes someone a good person, right? It's not one particular thing. More so, it's maybe a set of characteristic traits. Maybe they may be loyal and persistent and true to themselves and an honest person,
Mhm.
a vase of all of that. So now I've kind of just learned and realized that business is more so of putting things right place at the right time and then just executing.
I guess with business, you mentioned like honesty. So how far do you think honesty goes in business and like can you succeed being an honest person? I mean, you should never be one, but like could you?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So, honesty in business, transparency, I think is very overlooked, but I'm the type of person to just lay it out for what's at. I truthfully believe that there's always someone or something that may be watching in a weird way, but my point being is that I wouldn't want to do anything to someone that I wouldn't done to myself. And so, yeah, sometimes you might take L's. I've gotten scammed before. Does that mean I'm going to go scam people? No. Sometimes you have to get hit to understand, okay, maybe I don't want to do that and have someone else feel this type of way. So, my point being is, I think you need to have a certain level of transparency in business. Now, I also will say that you're going to see a lot of people in business that might not be honest and transparent. You'll see them make a lot of money. Then the question goes back down to what you're asking, like, what's the definition of success? Is success just a number and measurement in your bank account, or is success a state of being where you could live true to yourself and sleep at night without relying
What
on drugs and
is
stuff?
what is success in your eyes?
I think that success is a life that was worth lived. I think that success is your story. So as long as you could stay true to yourself, you don't really have a hard time sleeping because you don't have skeletons in the closet because you haven't like backstabbed people and you just lived a life that you don't really have much regrets of hurting others. I think that is a good starting
Mhm.
basis. And then afterwards, it's more so of did you take the courage to stay true to yourself when things were tough? Because there are many times, was in debt, faced bankruptcy almost, and you just thinking like, damn, head against the wall, what do I do?
Mhm.
And then you stay true to yourself and you make it through. But yeah, a lot of people don't know that traditional dropshipping really screwed me over because of my suppliers from China and Facebook ads. So
Mhm.
yeah.
And many times we face the same like issues. We were down bad and like luckily we made it out. But like during those moments, did you ever feel like things were gonna collapse, not work out? Like, how would you describe those experiences?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So when I was face against a wall, head against the back, just I don't know what to do. You always kind of know what to do next. You might not know the full picture, but I think the best way to describe it is I don't think the feeling of the anxiety ever really goes away in a sense. It's not that it's always going to be there and affecting you very deeply, but it's more so you have to change that energy into, okay, maybe this is just a sign for me to switch it up or do something else different. And I guess my point just being is that when I was during those times, I just learned to accept that it was just a feeling. It's really just numbers on a screen. And as long as you just do this set of actions to get to the goal, which is the profit, and then you minimize bad customer experience and try to get 5-star reviews, everything else just falls into place. So it was having the belief that you'll be just fine. It's just numbers on a screen and you'll know the next step and just keep on going 1% better every single day.
So I guess you mentioned emotions. How important is it to like control your emotions? If you're an emotional person and you're going through those downtimes, what would you recommend people do? Especially during downtimes, you might feel like giving up. You might feel like everything is stacked against you and you feel like nobody's there for you.
Yeah, that's a really good question. If you're an entrepreneur that is going through the whole entire range of emotions, what's worked best for me has, number one, been detaching myself from the situations. Many times, if you kind of zoom out of the world and you look at things for what it's at, you'll realize how small you are in the grand scheme of things. Like, we've only been here documented history for the last, few 100,000 years maximum. But how to explain the Egyptian pyramids, right? How to explain so many things. We don't know. We're just a small specimen in this big universe we call Earth. So handling the emotions is detaching yourself from whatever is going on, looking for things as what's at, which is just a feeling. And then second of all, more tactically, has been the meditation. I really enjoy when I wake up every single morning. I take like 15, 20 minutes and I close my eyes. I sit on the same wall every single morning and I just breathe and I let the emotions run its course. And then you're just able to see things from like almost a third person perspective, which is like, it's not that big of a deal. We'll get through it.
That's like very valuable. Definitely learned some new things. Or what would you say if someone is like dealing with those downtimes? Who should they like reach out to if they like need help? Because a lot of times they want to like keep it to themselves. Who can give them like better advice to better go through the situation?
We're always going to be having tough times in the entrepreneurial journey. I think the biggest advice that I could give is to join a community of like-minded individuals. Join Peak Flow, join our school community. A lot of people don't know this, but I'm an only child, so you'll always find like a big brother in me because I never really had the big bro that I try to be one for others and the people in the community. So join the right people. Ultimately, I think that if you're able to really look into yourself, realize that your potential is really based off of your imagination and creativity. In today's world, we live in a world of AI where possibilities are endless. So you first just have to tap into that world. And a seed cannot grow in a room that's dark. You have to have sunlight, water, and the environment around it. So surround yourself with the right people and ultimately join Peak Flow.
So last question. If someone's looking for that community, where do they go to find that community and join it?
You guys could go to peakflowacademy.com or follow me and Trevor's Instagram. We'll always be posting videos for you guys. Tactically speaking too, if you guys want to attract the people around you that you want to be like, maybe start first acting like it too, right? So if you're down bad and you're trying to find people that are motivated or disciplined as well, maybe start by going to the gym and waking up when you say you wake up. And believe it or not, the universe works in mysterious ways where when you start doing certain things in a certain like frequency and rhythm, you're going to attract people just like that. So if you're looking for people around you, you have me and Trev here at Peak Flow. We're always going to be a big brother for you. And you could also start by maybe just waking up on time and not being late. Work on yourself. Love yourself.
That's it.
All right. Thank you guys so much for your time. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. This is Marcus Lamb here with my business partner, Trevor Zhang. Guys, thank you so much for your time. If you guys like more of these, let us know in the comments. Let us know all of your questions. We gave some sauce. Rise to your peak, flow to your rhythm.
Peace.
Peace.